Remember when crossing the streams was a bad idea? Or when a giant marshmallow man terrorized Manhattan and somehow made everyone hungry? Yeah. Welcome back to Ghostbusters, the 1984 classic that mixed ghosts, comedy, and science in ways no one thought would work. But here's the thing. Behind those proton packs and slime-covered walls, there's a whole world of bizarre, hilarious, and downright unbelievable facts most fans have never heard. So, buckle up because today, we're diving into 20 weird facts you didn't know about Ghostbusters, 1984. 1. Ghostbusters almost had a totally different cast. Believe it or not, the original Ghostbusters was almost a sci-fi epic set in the future. Dan Aykroyd's first draft had the team jumping between dimensions to capture ghosts across galaxies, kind of like Men in Black meets Star Trek. The budget estimate? Over $200 million in 1980s money, which was basically Hollywood's way of saying, yeah, no. Aykroyd originally wrote it for himself, John Belushi, and Eddie Murphy. But when Belushi tragically passed away and the idea ballooned out of control, the studio told him to scale it down way down. Thankfully, he did. The story landed back on Earth in New York City, and the rest is cinematic history.
He slimed me.
That's great! Actual physical contact!
2. Eddie Murphy turned down a role.
Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis wanted you to be one of the original Ghostbusters, but you turned it down.
Yes.
Speaking of that alternate cast, Eddie Murphy was supposed to play Winston Zeddemore. He was offered the part, but he chose to do Beverly Hills Cop instead, which turned out to be another massive hit that same year. In Murphy's version, Winston was written with far more screen time and witty comebacks. Once he passed, Ernie Hudson came on board, and the script got trimmed down. But Hudson brought heart and realism to the team, the normal guy, among scientists and goofballs. And honestly, the chemistry worked perfectly.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
3. Bill Murray improv'd most of his lines.
Tell you what, I'll take Miss Barrett back to her apartment and check her out. I'll go check out Miss Barrett's apartment.
If you thought Peter Venkman's snarky attitude felt authentic, that's because it totally was. Bill Murray basically ignored the script and just winged it. Director Ivan Reitman said Murray's scenes were almost impossible to edit because he never said the same thing twice. The cast would often break character trying not to laugh. But that unpredictability? It gave Venkman his signature charm, that mix of genius and complete nonsense that only Bill Murray can pull off.
All right, this chick is toast!
4. Slimer was a tribute to John Belushi.
Give me one hide outside.
Yep, that adorable, disgusting green blob was inspired by John Belushi. Dan Aykroyd wanted to honor his late friend and made Slimer a chaotic, food-obsessed spirit, basically Belushi's Animal House character, after death. The animation team even watched Belushi's old comedy sketches to mimic his movements. When you think about it, Slimer isn't just comic relief. He's a love letter, a spectral nod to one of comedy's legends. 5. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was actually real.
Mother hush bucket.
Forget CGI, that towering marshmallow monster was 100% practical. They built multiple suits, each weighing over 80 pounds, worn by stuntman Billy Bryan. The New York skyline you see in that scene? Miniatures. The cars, toys, the destruction, mostly crushed foam, corn syrup, and powdered sugar. And that massive marshmallow explosion at the end? Hundreds of gallons of shaving cream dumped right on the actors. Smelled great, burned like hell. 6. The Ecto-1 nearly died on set. That iconic 1959 Cadillac ambulance? A mechanical disaster. The engine overheated, the transmission failed, and it would literally stall mid-scene. The siren was made from scratch because the real one broke. They only had one working version of the Ecto-1, so if it got damaged, filming stopped cold. The sound team even recorded the engine struggling and turned it into that eerie wailing siren we all recognize. The car was so unreliable that by the end, the crew called it Ecto-1 Barely Alive. 7. Sigourney Weaver's audition was unforgettable.
Are you the keymaster?
Not that I know of.
When Sigourney Weaver walked into her audition for Dana Barrett, she didn't read the lines, she performed them. she suddenly started acting possessed, growling, barking, and mimicking a demon right in front of the director. Ivan Reitman said he was half terrified, half awestruck. She got the part instantly. It set the tone for her performance, equal parts elegance and insanity. And really, who else could have made turning into a gatekeeper look that classy?
Can I talk to Dana?
There is no Dana, only Soul.
8. Rick Moranis saved his character.
Okay, who brought the dog?
Louis Tully was originally written for John Candy, but Candy wanted to play him as a German guy with dogs. The producers said, thanks, but no thanks. Rick Moranis stepped in, rewrote his own dialogue, and turned Louis into the socially awkward, overly polite neighbor we all love. That party scene where he introduces guests using their tax info, 100% improvised. Only Rick Moranis could make accounting sound that funny.
You want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
9. The movie almost got sued before it premiered.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Here's a weird one. Ghostbusters wasn't even the first show to use that name. There was a 1970s kids show called The Ghostbusters with a talking gorilla and 2 human detectives. When Columbia started marketing the movie, the old show's owners threatened to sue. The studio actually filmed alternate takes using the name Ghostbreakers. Thankfully, they struck a deal just in time. Otherwise, we'd all be calling the Ghostbreakers, which just doesn't have the same ring. 10. The Library. Ghost was originally terrifying.
Get her!
The film's first ghost encounter, that quiet library scene, originally ended much differently. Instead of a spooky reveal, she exploded into a screaming skeletal demon straight out of a horror film. During test screenings, audiences were so terrified that they screamed, spilled popcorn, and a few even walked out. The studio realized, maybe tone it down a little, so they reshot it to make it eerie and funny instead of nightmare fuel. 11. The proton packs were insanely heavy. Each proton pack weighed between 35 and 40 pounds, and the actors had to wear them for hours under hot lights. Bill Murray joked that they should have received stunt pay. Harold Ramis once said that by the third take, you could smell the plastic heating up. Yet despite the pain, the cast insisted on wearing the real packs instead of light props for realism. That's dedication and back pain for life.
Throw it!
12. The theme song was written in 3 days.
Who you gonna call?
Ray Parker Jr. was given 3 days to write a theme song. He was struggling until he saw an early cut of the movie, where the Ghostbusters phone number appeared on screen. Inspired, he thought of a cheesy commercial jingle, and Who You Gonna Call was born. The song became a global hit, topped charts for weeks, and even got nominated for an Oscar. Not bad for a song written in a weekend.
I think you better call Ghostbusters!
13. The Firehouse is a real place.
Wow, this place is great. When can we move in?
That iconic red brick firehouse? Totally real, at least on the outside. It's Hook and Ladder 8 in Tribeca, New York. Fans still visit it today, often leaving notes, drawings, and Twinkies in tribute. The inside scenes, though, were shot in Los Angeles, inside a decommissioned fire station. So yeah, Ghostbusters was technically bi-coastal ghosts in New York, lighting and coffee in LA. 14. Dan Aykroyd's family were real ghost hunters. Dan Aykroyd didn't just make this stuff up. His great-grandfather was a spiritual researcher, and his dad wrote a book on seances. Growing up surrounded by tales of ghosts and mediums, Aykroyd was obsessed with the paranormal. Ghostbusters was basically him saying, what if we took my family's ghost obsession and made it funny? So the movie wasn't just entertainment, it was Aykroyd's heritage wrapped in comedy. 15. The slime was edible, sort of.
Oh. Ah.
This way.
Yep, the famous green slime was made from oatmeal, food coloring, and KY jelly. It was non-toxic, just gross. The actors constantly got slimed, especially Bill Murray, who complained, but secretly found it funny. He even tasted it once during filming because of course Bill Murray would.
Batman, what happened? Are you okay?
16. The studio didn't believe in the movie. When Columbia first greenlit Ghostbusters, they thought it would flop. They couldn't figure out if it was comedy, sci-fi, or horror. The cast was given 13 months total to write, shoot, and edit, an insane schedule. But by the premiere, audiences were laughing, cheering, and quoting it non-stop. It became the Star Wars of supernatural comedy.
Everything was fine with our system until power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
They caused an explosion.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true.
17. The Stay Puft ending was a last-minute idea. Originally, the finale didn't feature the Marshmallow Man at all. Aykroyd randomly threw the idea out as a joke during a meeting. Instead of laughing it off, Reitman said, "Yeah, let's do it." They didn't have time to overthink it, and that's probably why it worked so well. The absurdity of a smiling marshmallow monster destroying New York became one of the most iconic visuals in film history.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
18. A hidden blooper is still in the final cut. There's a blink and you'll miss it goof on the rooftop during the Gozer showdown. If you look closely, you can actually see a crew member's sneaker poking out from the smoke effects. It happens for half a second most people never notice. But once you spot it, you can't unsee it. Even perfectionists leave a ghost behind. 19. Bill Murray never signed a contract. In the most Bill Murray move ever, he agreed to do the movie verbally, then disappeared to Paris before production started. The studio didn't even know if he'd show up. Then, on day one of shooting, he just walked onto set in full costume like it was no big deal. No contract, no drama, just Bill being Bill. 20. Nobody expected it to be a hit. During production, no one thought Ghostbusters would be a blockbuster. Even Murray reportedly told friends, "This movie's either genius or career suicide." When it finally premiered, the audience went wild. It smashed box office records, dethroned Indiana Jones, and became a global phenomenon. The studio's gamble had paid off in marshmallows and slime. And there you have it, 20 weird, wild, and wonderfully strange facts about Ghostbusters 1984 that prove this movie was as chaotic behind the camera as it was on screen. If you liked this video and it brought back memories, you'll like this one as well.